Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good day to everyone. We have this tutorial question on the topic of introduction to law. First and foremost, before we answer the question, it is good for us to understand the questions itself. Yeah. Okay, the question says, John Austin defined law as the command of the sovereign body in the society, which may be a person, such as king, or a body of officials, such as parliament. And these commands are backed by threat of sanctions to be applied in the event of disobedience. So basically, John Austin has defined law according to his perspective. Yeah? Now, the question says, explain the above statement in relation to positive law school and compare this school of thought with the view of natural law jurists. Now, you need to explain what do you understand by that particular definition first. And after that, you also need to explain positive law school, and you also need to compare with the natural law jurists. So how are we going to go about that? Okay, first and foremost, right? This is what you should do. You should explain. Okay, explain what do you understand by John Austin's statement. Okay, so for questions which have statements, you need to explain the statement first. So basically what he says was that he talks about the law as a whole, that law is made by the king or parliament. Okay, that is what he says, that command of a sovereign body. So sovereign body is actually, okay, law. Okay, when he says that command of the sovereign sovereign body, so what he says that the law is made by the king or parliament. Okay, and okay, when you fail, when citizen fail, meaning in the event of disobedience, when a citizen fail to adhere, okay, adhere to the command, okay, or adhere to the rule or regulation, okay, regulation, okay, and law even, okay, there will be punish, okay, there will be punishment. Okay, right? So, and the next question asks about explain the above statement in relation to positive law school. Okay, you need to explain next. Okay, what does it mean by positive law school? Okay, so you need to explain positive law school, positive law school, what do you call that, views, okay. So basically, and then you relate back that John Austin's statement, okay, John Austin's statement is the positive, or John Austin's statement is from the positive law school. Okay, John Austin's statement is from the positive law school views. Okay, then you give example. Yeah, you can give example like example of one law. Okay, road example. Can we just put this here? Example, road Traffic Act meant to regulate the road system okay, failure to follow, okay, rules or failure to follow the act, then there'll be okay, fine, okay, and oh, before that I forgot, after explaining positive law school, you need to give, okay, one view from any of the scholars. Okay, can we just take one views? Perhaps maybe Lon Fuller, okay, Lon Fuller, or maybe if you still don't have the notes, you can look at Hart, okay, just put it here, positive scholars, okay, such as Lon Fuller, and then H.L.A. Hart, okay, or even Mr. John Austin himself, okay, or explain in detail of the views of John Austin, okay, but it's best to have the views from other scholars apart from Lon Fuller, or apart from John Austin. So you can have Lon Fuller or H.L. Hart. Okay, and then after that, they want you to compare from the views of natural law jurists. You explain the natural law explain the law, okay, explain law from the natural law jurists views, then you give give one view from the scholars. Okay, this can be any of the scholars, so it can be example Cicero, how do you spell that? Cicero, Cicero, okay, Aristotle, okay, or Saint Thomas, Aquinas, okay, and then you can easily compare between the views of the juries, okay. You can compare between what we call positivists, and naturalists, okay. This is where you need to talk about the one being law should be obeyed, okay. You explain what does positive, okay, we just start here first. Positivist, okay, says that law to be obeyed, okay, and naturally says what does this say? That it's just based on moral, no obligation to follow. Okay, next you can also talk about the what does a positivist says. They says that law is determined, okay, by the lawmaker, okay. The lawmaker, those are the again can be by the king, just like what John Austin said, or parliament, okay. And then what does the naturalist says? Okay, naturalists, naturalists. Okay, this says that law is determined by human nature. Okay, and then you can give another last comparison. Okay, positivity says that something is wrong because it is forbidden, but naturally says, okay, something is forbidden because it is wrong. Okay, now when you explain the comparison, you are not supposed to put in a table. You need to explain in a full language, proper statements, because you are answering law paper. And then after that, you conclude. You give your conclusion. What do you think about maybe positivist, good, bad, and then naturalist, same thing, good or realistic. Okay, this is how you answer. Realistic. Okay, so that's how you answer questions, essay questions, answering a question which has a statement made by somebody. You need to explain the statement first. Okay, you need to explain the statement first, and then after that you need to explain what is the positive law of school views, and then you give examples, and then you give example from one of the scholars. You can also give one example hypothetically, let's say statutory. Okay, an act is what we call statute. And then you can also explain from the natural law jurists. You give the views from the scholars as well. Perhaps you can also give example. Okay. Now you can give example like duty or obligation from of an employee, for example. Okay, whether they need to follow instruction when it's wrong, when it is wrong, then you explain. You know it is wrong. Naturalist view says that it is wrong, so why you follow? But positivists might be saying that that is instruction, you have to follow. The rule says that you must listen to your superior, to your bosses. You explain. This is just an example. Then you compare between positivist view and naturalist views, and you need to explain one by one. But please avoid putting it in a proper table. Just explain properly using proper sentences, and then after that conclude. So this is how you answer this type of question.